Ah, there she blows. All right. Welcome. You've arrived at Sibs Read Smut podcast. Thank you for being here.
You've arrived.
You've arrived. We are part of PBS and NPR. You're going to get a very important education today, and you're welcome for that. So we want to welcome you to our show. Thank you for being here. I'm Helen.
Gross.
I'm Helen. Who are you?
I am Ned.
Welcome, Ned.
PBS listeners.
Well, it is a children's show.
Stop saying that.
Never. This is a podcast. Bad boy lips.
Bad boy lips.
Bad boy lips. Oh my God. Ned, cool it. We have to be serious. This is a very serious podcast. This, while being a serious podcast, is also a podcast where we read, rate, and review our favorite romance novels. We tell jokes about them on occasion. They're funny to us, usually only. Sometimes they're funny to you. And we go from there. Let us know if there's any books that you want us to read while Ned puts on his cardigan like he's Mr. Rogers. Again, children's filming.
I forgot my Cardi began.
Your Cardi B. If you have questions, suggestions, or anything else that you want to tell us, you can tell us on the socials on Instagram or TikTok at Sibs Read Smut, or you can tell us on sibsreadsmut@gmail.gov. It's not that. It's .com. Don't fuck it up. All right. On today's podcast,
This is one of the best intros ever.
Snorted a lot of something before this podcast. We will be
particles.
Truly. Okay. We will be discussing a book tonight called Heartless. There we go. All right. So we're talking about Heartless by Elsie Silver. I had to rewire my brain there.
Reorient.
Where are we? We're talking about Heartless by Elsie Silver. And spoiler, we talk about it from start to finish. We do tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So pause if you want to go read it first. It's a short one. You can manage it, I think, and come back once you've listened. And all right, off we go. So Ned wrote with his own brain stem a summary of the book, and I want you all to listen to it now. And take it seriously, you guys. Be nice to him. He wrote this himself.
Well, this is cowboy smut this week.
Ooh.
So I am bringing it back out again.
You didn't give me time to get mine.
Well, go get it right now.
Well, I gotta undo all of my chair stuff, my headphones.
Oh, this is all staying in the podcast.
I've returned from the wild, wild west. All right.
Okay. All right. So here is your overview of
summary.
Heartless by Elsie Silver.
Yeah.
Dramatically.
Don't read that part. That is just to give you a tone for how to read it. You work in the industry. What are you doing reading the direction out loud?
I know. It's just even funnier that way.
Shut up.
Another single cowboy dad nanny novel.
Oh my
Did you find yourself trying not to get a chub while standing mere feet from a child? Then this book is for you. Crabby Daddy, Cade Eaton, and wild and wonderful Willa find each other on a ranch when Cade is in need of a nanny for the summer. Can she learn to discern his different scowls? Can he keep his dick and his trunks around her pierced nipples in the hot tub? Probably not.
Likely not.
Yeah,
Sorry
and the answer is
about
no.
Yeah, no, there you go.
You're bringing out the British accent for the cowboy, the Canadian cowboy romance.
They could be from the western frontier of Britain, and we aren't quite sure.
Oh my God, that's the worst. That's terrible, Helen.
It found you in a British toilet, all right? So my British accent is just fine. Thank you.
Oh, God.
Ned, will you tell us the story of the Eton thing from college?
Oh, so a friend of mine's dad from that lived near the Ohio town, where we went to school. We went to school in Dayton, and they lived just north of there. But he had a saying from when he was a kid that they would always say, and it's have you dating a girl from Eton? And you go, nope, but I've eaten a girl from Dayton. And we would say that all the time driving by, because we would drive by Eton right on the way to Dayton every time we drove to college. It was, it's still a great saying. It's still one of the.
It was all I could think of while reading this book. Cade Eaton, this entire series, the entire with Chestnut Springs, I think, series is based around the Eaton family.
Yeah, Chestnut Springs, and this was my first time reading this book. I have not read this series yet. I have read other Elsie Silver books.
Yes.
I've read her, what is it? The Gold Rush Ranch series. And the daughter, Violet, or was it Violet or Juliet?
I don't know. What daughter? Whose daughter?
There's Cade's sister. Juliet or Violet or whatever it is, she is book 3 in that other series. So she has a full book.
So there's cross pollination of this into other series.
Oh yeah, and one of her other series, the famous dad or whatever, one of the music producers.
Yeah,
her brother is a star of another series of this.
Rose Hill. That's Rose Hill. I've read a couple of those. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I haven't put that all together.
Yeah, they all kind of interweave.
Did you just scissor with your fingers together?
Oh yeah. For those at home, I'm wiggling and melding my fingers together.
Thank you for the visual of how everything fits together. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
But you had mentioned too that what do we have in common with this book? And it is absolutely nothing. We are fucking city kids.
Yep, we are born true and raised city kids, and not Canadian. Yeah, I rode horses when I was little at Girl Scout camp.
I had one of my notes on here. I go, "We're city kids. Does this type of book make you want to move out and horse?"
They were horsing.
I
don't know. They were busy horsing. No, not at all. This makes me want to live as close to the city as I forever can.
Yeah.
I would go to a dude ranch with Lucy.
Sure. But not move out the sticks and fucking
live
off the land.
Everybody's in each other's business and apparently not on birth control. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be.
That was a little conveniente.
Don't get me started on the ending. We don't need to start there. We can end with the ending, but not my favorite.
Well, let's start at the very beginning. The cover. It's okay. It's not, it's real people.
Okay. I wrote down in my notes, because I'm now a note taker like you nerd. I wrote down the things that I think that Ned would like about this book and the things that I think Ned would hate about this book. And I said that you would hate the cover for sure.
I did not love the cover.
They have real people on them, and you hate that. You would like about this book that it's a series. And I was actually surprised to hear that you did not read the whole rest of the series before we came to the podcast, because that's your thing.
It is, but I listen, but only if I can listen to it.
These aren't listening books.
I bought this one on Audible because the only version on the library was in German. You don't
remember German from? I haven't spoken German in years.
Yeah. Not since WW2 have I spoke German.
Okay. It's a risky joke.
Sprechen Sie Dick.
999. No.
Okay. What else? What else do I love and hate about this book?
That's it. I wrote series. Gotta catch. Gotta
So many
catch them
notes.
all. So listen, I did take a lot of notes, and I actually wrote down Casey's dad's phrase as I may be dating a girl from Eton, but I'm eating a girl from Dayton. So it was a little less. Yours was, I feel like, a little bit more normal, and mine was just filthy.
Yeah. I mean,
That's how my memory has savored that little nugget from Casey's dad.
Savored that little nugget.
Savored that little nugget. And then
gross.
And then I found a Goodreads review that honestly made me think of Casey's dad's phrase, because the Goodreads review said, Cade really puts the eat in Eaton, because tell me why Cade was eating my ass through these pages. That's on Goodreads. I didn't write that, you guys. I wish I did. But
oh man,
I read that review and then I was like, oh my God, that sounds like Casey's dad's saying from college.
Yeah.
So
well I mean,
that's it. That's all my notes.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, I didn't love Cade. You know, we've read a lot of
the Gus.
We've read a lot of these
Cade.
books where they're just dickheads at the beginning, and he was more dickish than most, I think. You know, because he most of them understand they're kind of being assholes, but he understood that he was being an asshole and truly just didn't care. And just justified his meanness as, I'm protecting my son. But it was, you know, it wasn't until our female lead shows up, Willa, that she like kind of puts him in his place and makes him think about that. And then I'm like, okay, he's not as bad as he gets better throughout. But like at the beginning, I'm like, okay. And even his internal monologue, I'm like, all right, whatever. He's ogling her butt creases at the coffee shop in line, you know, fighting off a public boner. And
so that was their like meet cute. So he's trying to hire, like the story is he's trying to hire a nanny for the summer for his kid. The mom, of course, single dad. The mom exists in some way. She left a long time ago. Anyway, so the son's 5, Luke. And so Cade, bad daddy Cade, or grumpy daddy Cade, is at a coffee shop. He's been interviewing nannies. None of these interviews have gone well. So now he's like getting coffee or something. And he sees Willa in the coffee shop and she laughs and he's trying not to get a boner. And then she's like digging something out of her purse and like a pair of underwear falls out. And he like
clean.
So she says, there's no guarantee. We don't know. And so he like picks it up and keeps it. And then that was like their meet cute. That was the first time they met. And then of course, Willa is friends with one of the other Eaton brothers, husband's wives, yada. There's some connection. And they're like, we're desperate for a nanny. Will you do it? And she's like, well, I have the summer off. So yes, I will do it. And she becomes the nanny for this family. Yada, yada, yada.
They say panties. They say panties so many times in this first part. He goes, you dropped your panties, ma'am. And she just goes, finders keepers, and like runs away. There was a lot of funny in this book, actually.
Willa is funny. I liked her a lot. Yeah. She had a very sassy personality.
She's like, I'm a literal panty dropper when she's recounting this story to Summer, who is her best friend, who is also
married to
engaged to Cade's younger brother.
Another Eaton.
Correct. Another Eaton.
Not Dayton.
Wishing Well Ranch is a good name too, I thought.
Is that their ranch name?
That's their ranch name.
Did not write that one down. Believe it or not.
In your extensive notes that were 2 lines long.
3 bullet points, okay? 3. You're welcome. So she becomes the nanny for Luke, the kid, the 5-year-old, and Cade. And then shenanigans ensue. They fall in love. Oh, well, you have to talk about one of your favorite scenes because that was such a good scene. And then it was a bit of a slow burn on the romance front too. We'll get to that.
Yeah, a little bit of slow burn. I'll go through my notes of things that I thought were funny, and I'll go through my sex scene names.
Yeah, I need to know what you actually named because there's not a whole
ton of plot other than them slow burning, getting together, close
Yeah.
proximity, romance, whatever. But the first meeting does not go well.
Never does.
That's one of my notes. And he goes, "You smell like beer and your panties are still in my back pocket. You're not taking care of my son." I was like, those are all legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then his son Luke comes out and goes, my dad's not a panty guy. He wears boxers, those really tight ones. And then she has to explain chafing to a fucking 5-year-old. It's like when your junk rubs together, and the little kid Luke's like, "Oh, I hate that."
He gets it. Yeah.
Oh, and then Cade's fingering the panties later on the couch. He's like, "They're pretty full cut, but what do I know?" And I'm like, then why are you even commenting?
We don't
about
need
it?
that internal.
There's a fair amount of sniffing in this book too. Just
is
mind
there?
You. Yeah. Yeah, he smells her too. Usually it's just the girl smelling the guy, but in this case, he's smelling her. She smells like hay and sunshine and
did not
and
even faze me.
And
what does sunshine smell like?
I don't know, like burning heat, sun.
Space.
He calls her she calls him cowboy porn with a frown, which I thought was a fun line.
Okay.
And then he, as a byproduct of hiring her on, he goes, proper undergarments are a requirement. And then she goes, "I'll be ready for your inspection tomorrow." Everything that he says, she throws right back at him in a very sexual way. There's a lot of innuendo throughout this entire book.
Innuendo? Did you mispronounce that, or did you say that way on purpose?
I said it that way on purpose.
Innuendo.
Innuendo. You're welcome, Helen.
Sounds like a disease of the butthole or something. It's not
classic joke.
Innuendo is like, ooh, innuendo. Innuendo sounds like you have warts on your anus. There's not the same.
Speaking of warts being in places, whatever, there's a lot of milky skin talk in here too, like milky white skin and whatever. I just wrote yuck. Not great.
Yeah.
And then she keeps calling him Daddy Eaton too, which I'm like,
the daddy thing comes up a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a dad.
And then he calls her Red, which I actually liked. I liked that nickname.
Yeah.
Because she's got red hair. But they start the baby stuff like towards the end, and I'm like, why? Why did you start the baby stuff?
Oh, as a nickname, or like
as a nickname,
literally
calling each other babe or baby.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was like, why did you do that? Citrus. He smells her. She's
as
citrus
like
and vanilla.
Thing. She's citrus and vanilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 15% in, they're in the hot tub together. Which how can that ever go wrong? And I just called that hot tub chubby footsie.
Okay,
straight to the point.
Yeah.
And
we've had a few. You've named a few hot tub scenes in other books, because all I can think of with the hot tub is hot tub, like rub-a-dub
bathtub chub.
Rub-a-dub bathtub chub. One of my all-time favorite titles.
Still a classic.
A classic from our podcast that's existed for 2 months.
Yeah, well, and
that's gonna go down in history.
Herstory.
Ally.
She says something about her. Oh, I love country music, about your wife running off or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and that was another good line. She's like, "How far is my foot in my mouth?" And he goes, "You're digesting it," which I thought was pretty funny.
That's pretty accurate to our lives. I feel like we often find ourselves there.
Yeah, and there's just generalized good banter. They have a good.
They do. They have a fun
bantery relationship back and forth. She's having mustache ride fantasies about him very early on.
He's hot.
Yeah, she's sniffing him on the front porch. Pine
Age
needles.
difference.
Yeah,
smells like pine needles. Okay, he's 38. She's 25. 13 years. Quite.
Yeah,
and
distance. we have forced proximity, grumpy sunshine, age gap. Kind of No, I wouldn't say enemies to lovers. You know, that they're not really enemies, really.
Yeah.
Single dad, opposite attract, absolutely. Small town for sheezies.
For sheezies. Yeah.
For sheezies.
For sheezies.
They bring up buckle bunnies a lot, so I decided to come up with other names that we could potentially use for those, which include horsehounds, cow cream pies, and hay harpies. You know, none of them really hit like buckle bunnies, but I was like, I
love your alliteration.
I want to try to come up with one of my own. There's lots of blowjob jokes too.
Oh, well, this is one of my favorite scenes in the book. So they're having like a family dinner. This is early on. So Willa is already the nanny. So she's like invited to these family events, but they are not like lovers yet. And so
lovers in the nighttime.
They're like, she thinks he's cute. You know, he obviously thinks she's so hot. Number 2. I hear it.
Hot.
So hot. And so they're at dinner. Harvey is the dad of this whole group. And so somebody asks him like, Harvey, how was your day? Like, what did you do on the ranch today? And he's like, oh, I fed the cows. I shoveled some hay. And then I gave the lawn a real good blowjob. And, and the whole table of like all the like kids our age are like, like trying not to laugh, but they're not doing very well because the son Luke, the 5-year-old Luke, is at the table too. So they're trying not to be like total assholes. And so they're laughing. They keep asking questions in the same vein. And then finally, Cade, you know, bad daddy Katie has to like leave the room because he's like going to lose it. So he goes out on the front porch and then finally Willa follows him and she's like, are you okay? And he's like, I was going to lose it and I needed to just step away. And then she makes more blowjob jokes, lots of innuendo, not the other one, on the front porch. And then
when he gets super horned up when she like touches his back and he's like,
big time.
Rock hard. Rock hard.
Tap the Rockies.
Tap the Rockies.
And so, yeah, they go.
And that led to hot tub scene number 2, Nipplegate, where
the piercings.
They play what is it? Truth or Dare. And he makes her sit up on the bench because he wants to like, inspect her front wedgie. And she wants him. Oh, she wants him to go back to doing the rodeo again and take something for himself. Maybe her vagina, like you know what?
Could be.
And we get a little backstory about Luke's mom and his childhood responsibilities. I was reading something, or I was watching a video the other day talking about dialogue and how in movies and how sometimes super short answers can be super meaningful. And they were talking about Escape from Alcatraz, where they're asking Clint Eastwood's character, how was your childhood or whatever else, meaning how did you get to prison, and whatever. And he goes, short. And that's it. And it was like, and you can kind of get from that everything you need. His childhood, he had to grow up quickly. He's in jail because it probably wasn't a good childhood. And I kind of got that inkling from Luke. They used more words than that, but
from Luke or from Cade? From
Cade when he was 8 when his mom died, and he suddenly now had to take care of his 2 or 3 younger brothers and sister and everything else. He had to be he was helping out on the farm at 8. He had to grow up really quickly, and
he's always taking care of everybody else.
Yeah.
And then she asked during that same Truth or Dare, Willa asked him, it was just the two of them, like, what's the story with Luke's mom? And so he tells her most of it, but then he doesn't talk about, like, does she ever come back around? Does she, like, he just says like, I'd already been taking care of my siblings for my whole life. It just felt right. And we got drunk and I had a night of like irresponsibility. And then Luke was born, and he's like, I never regret Luke. Obviously, good dad.
When later on it comes up that she trapped him specifically,
You
like
meet
lock
the
him
actual
down.
mom. You meet the
Yeah.
Luke's bio mom.
She's
later.
a real butthole.
Yeah.
That was a real
total claptrap.
Yeah. In Venus fly pussy. But in there is one of my favorite scenes. He loves making dinner for the kid and whatever.
Yeah.
And they're singing and dancing around and calling each other weirdos and whatever. I was like, that's pretty cute. The kittens. And then she wants him to break her back. Boom, via sex.
Oh, okay. I was like,
and then
don't remember that.
And then she rides the horse in front of all the cowboys. I enjoyed that scene too, where she jumped up and like how a horse had just thrown this cowboy off, and she's like, "Oh, I want to ride that one." And Kate's like, "Absolutely not." And she jumps up there anyway. He goes, "Woman, get down." that always made me laugh. He just womaned me. was her thought. That made me laugh a lot. What was it? The 40%, the hide, their I called it hide and go honking when they start making out in the hay bales while playing hide and go seek. And Cade got teased as a kid. He does not like being called daddy. She's horny over him wearing a backwards hat. At this point, I'm kind of like, just fuck.
Everybody's horny over everybody wearing a backwards hat. All you should do is wear a backwards hat. Ned, you should start wearing your hats backwards. Not a cowboy hat, you idiot. It's the same front and back. Stupid. But a baseball hat, if you would go to the pub on the weekends and wear a backwards baseball cap, I bet you'd pull all the baddies.
Yuck. The 41% first kiss explosion. He's a starved caveman.
How many things did you name in this book?
6, 7, maybe.
There was really only like 2 or 3 sex scenes, and they didn't even start until like 70% or something.
Yeah, she smells like grass. Stuff. Proposition.
Stop writing down the smells. Nobody cares. It doesn't even faze me.
He turns her down twice. He's like, we're not going to fit together. He turns her down. And she's getting really.
Well, he's self-conscious about the age gap, and she's from the big city, and he's from the small town, and she'll never want to move here and be with me.
He doesn't want to be made a fool of again.
Yeah.
By some, whorish broad running off with sleeping half the town and then running off to the big city again.
What's the bio mom's name? Like Trixie or?
Oh, I don't even
Tristan,
remember.
something.
I don't even think I wrote it down.
Something slutty. All right, what else did you name? And then I want to hear about your favorite scene in the
60% front porch face fucking. It's pretty hot and dirty. That's the one where he's
Is that like the BJ scene?
Yeah, just rams his dick in her.
I want to fuck your face.
And he does.
And he does.
It's pretty spicy. What would you rate this on the Smutometer?
Medium.
I went hard medium. I went hard medium.
I'm not giving it a plus. Okay. Thank you for the hard. Yeah. Thank you for finishing that. I just don't think it gets a plus because of the slow burn. There's so much slow burn. I can't even give it medium plus. I give it a solid medium because the actual smut is very smutty and very explicit. But it takes a while to get there. There's a lot of buildup, and it's just not pucking around. There's not semen swapping. And
you will never forget that. You talk about me. You talk about me bringing up dirty stuff, and you just go straight to the semen swapping every time.
There was semen swapping in that book. How can you not just compare everything you read now to that book and think about all of the fluids? There's a lot of fluids.
Helen, I think you're much too focused on it. 62% in. Nothing wrong with the beeve. Lots of talking during the sex scene too. They're like chatting each other up. I'm finally just like, shut up and do it. Like, my God. She denies the condo, which is a big thing
that
coming up.
Determines the ending of the book.
She's sick. Luke, the kid, gets sick.
Yeah.
Then he gets Willa
like
sick,
stomach flu type thing. Yeah.
And so she ends up puking up her birth control, and then he fucks her wild for like 3 days straight.
She's just puking for 2 days, and like as you read it, she's puking for 2 days. She's not thinking about it, and then they fuck, and he splooges inside of her because she's like, oh, "We don't need a condom. I'm on birth control." And then like at the end, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant." And then she's like puts all the pieces together. So she wasn't thinking about the fact that she just puked up her prevention.
Yeah. 67% enter the stabbing cabin.
What? Like her vagina?
He finally gives her a good wanging. Yeah, because nothing wrong with the beeve. He's just wearing her like a hat for a while. And then 67%. Yeah, 67% enter the stabbing cabin. They finally P and V,
Oh, thank you for the visual. Jesus Christ.
And then they fuck all night, like in the kitchen, in the shower, all over the place. The kids staying with the grandpa. Yeah, stay with the grandpa. And yeah, they're
at least he didn't finger fuck her like on the couch with the kids sitting in front of them.
Yeah,
like
Mr. Masters.
That I am still thinking about calling Child Protective Services on that like fake family. Well, that is just really uncomfortable.
Well, and
they were really conscious of Luke and not like being gross around him.
Yeah,
which I appreciated.
Yeah, except for his birthday party where they fuck in the kitchen where anyone could just walk in, but like
nobody did.
Yeah, nobody did, but yeah,
they could have. Yeah,
they could have.
Well, there was a mention where Luke saw them during that whole like dancing scene where he was calling them weirdos and stuff. Yeah. Luke like left the room to go get some Star Wars, some like character or something, and then apparently
they were close dancing.
Was watching them, and he watched Cade give Willa like a massage or something that was like kind of sexual, and he asked her about it. Like Luke asked Willa about it later, like, well, Daddy's given you a massage before. I saw it in the kitchen when you guys were dancing. And she was like,
yeah, the kid has no compunction about saying whatever.
I love him. He's cute.
Well, and each chapter, which is a little unique to this book, starts out with a little text exchange with either them texting one of their friends or them texting each other or something else. And there was, kind of flirty and funny. But her text while Cade is with his dad about, she's not wearing any panties today because her kitty took a pounding from his pole. And I was like, oof, that's not the kind of text you want to get in front of your parent. And then she at some point just says, "Murder me with your dick," and I'm like, oh, okay.
She's stealing your chapter titles.
Yeah, I know that should have been a chapter title. And then 75%. There's more hot tub nipple tweaking while they define their relationship. Poontang Peep Show is another semi-title for this. Titty fucking son of a bitch is a subtitle for this one.
Okay.
Lots more coming. They're just
okay.
And then his ex.
No, that was a fake sound effect, folks.
Yeah. No, Helen just farted.
I am sitting on a wooden chair, so if I did fart, you would all hear it. Just for the record, we would not bleep it.
Yeah.
All right. What other notes do you have on our dear novel?
Ex's nightmare. She trapped him. Willa's jealous at Luke's birthday party.
The ex because she's. The bio mom shows up once a year, and now she left when when Luke was like 2 or 3, and so she shows up once a year at his birthday party. So they're obviously throwing Luke this great 6th birthday party. And she shows up, and then there's like a exchange between Willa and Trixie. It's not her name, but it sounds right. And so that's how she learns a lot about how Cade was trapped by this woman, and then she doesn't want to ever do the same to him.
Yeah. So then my last note was 81% child's birthday blowout. He just
She blew out his candle.
Yeah, and he just sexes her from behind in the kitchen, and then sends her out to the party still dripping.
Won't let her clean up. She has to like wear her filth back out to the party. Gross. Yeah. Okay.
Someone says, "Did you get baby rabies?" Which I thought was pretty funny.
That's a really funny way of putting it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then the family reunion, she gets to meet Violet, and that Violet is the one that I was read in the other series. Cade breaks his hand. This whole end section is a little weird because it's not about them at all. Like and
it's about the other book. It's about the first book.
Yes.
So and it's like pulling in all these characters and things from a different novel, which I've read. Did you read the first one?
No, I've not read the first one.
So it probably made even less sense to you.
Yeah, I mean, I got it from context clues, but
I guess you're smart enough to catch on. Okay,
Idiot.
Good for
you. Summer is her best friend, and Winter is the fucking
Summer's
doctor, which I'm
friend. They're siblings. Summer and Winter are literally siblings.
But did we? I never did get a good enough answer for why she fucking had a carrot in her purse and threw it into the back seat. When she's trying to tell him that she's pregnant, she's reaching through her purse and throws a carrot in the back seat.
She said it was either from her and Luke feeding the horses. That's where she said. She said it was from. It was from her and Luke feeding the horses recently. And then in her internal monologue, she's like, I mean, I think it could have been. I think the whole joke of it was like the beginning. She had panties in her. Like her purse is always filled with random shit, including clean underwear and carrots. And so she said the carrot also could have been from like one of her lunches from when she lived in the city. So it could have been like months old. So she didn't say that part out loud, but that was her internal monologue. So that was the carrot thing. But it did bring a lot of humor to it. Before we get to the ending, which I did not love, but want to talk about, I want you to talk about, so I loved in this book how Willa really had her own separate relationship with Luke as his nanny. They like really became close really fast. And there was a very funny scene that you also loved, but you haven't told us about it yet.
So Luke had a friend from school's birthday party that he had to go to, and Cade was working. So he asked Willa to take Luke, and Cade is going to get there, but he's going to get there late. So he shows up, and Luke is crying, and Willa is comforting him, and she's like, well, what's going on? What's going wrong? And he's like, and Cade is off to the side observing this, and he points at the birthday boy who's like sucking on a lollipop and just kind of smarmy and just being a real shitbag. And she
5 years old.
5-year-old
shitbag.
Well, 6 years, 5 or 6 years old. And she walks over to the kid and goes, "You think it's funny to throw other kids in the pool?" And and the mom's like, "He was joking around." And Willa's like, "I don't think it was funny." And she just hip checks this fucking kid into the pool, and then is like, "How do you like it? How do you like it?" And the mom's like, "You need to get out of here." And Cade steps in and like gets Luke to go home, and Luke was like, "I want to go home with her." So they leave, and then he gives the mom what for, he is like, I had to be nice to a point because it's a small town and everyone's going to find out about this, but I'm not going to let her son get away with being a shit to my kid. And I was telling you before the podcast started, I was like, I literally did I said, "Who is that kid that stole Lucy's ball at the playground the other day?" I'm like, I was like, I want to punch that kid in the face.
For the record, our family, the four of us, like my parents, our parents, and Ned and I, FaceTime almost every day as a group. And on Father's Day, we were at a park, and my kid is 1.5, and she doesn't understand sharing or anything along those lines. So there's a kid who's probably like 4 or 5 at the park, like in real life. Like I'm actually there. Not my best idea to be like FaceTiming with my family and showing Lucy, like following my kid around this park. And then just knowing like what our family talks about on FaceTime, and there's, again, no filter, just going away. So
you don't have your AirPods in. It's
do
on
not have my
speakerphone.
Well, because Lucy interacts with you guys,
Yeah.
and so she'll say something, or she'll be like, you guys will say like, "Where's Lucy?" and then she covers her eyes, and it's really cute. So I can't wear I mean, I could, but it defeats the purpose. So I'm not wearing headphones, and these motherfuckers. But my mom is like, "Oh, well, Helen, should she be climbing that slide? It looks hot." And so I'm like getting the grandma commentary out of one side, and then Ned's like, "I don't like the look of that kid in the green." Like just like talking out loud, and then Lucy's in a big ball phase. And she just loves balls right now. And so she saw a big old beach ball, and we're at this like water table at this park. And I've got the camera trained on her, but I'm also like sitting on a bench just watching. And she goes over and like picks up the ball and is like waddling back to me like, "Look, I got this beach ball." And then some kid runs over, like a bigger kid, like 4 or 5, the kid in green, and just snatches the ball, runs away with it. And she's just like, she doesn't get it. She's like, "Oh, okay, bye ball." Like she's like doesn't care. But Ned is pissed, and he's like, "That kid in the green is a total douche. Like I hate him." And I'm just like, you guys are on speaker. There were like other parents, and it was Father's Day. It was a beautiful day in Chicago, and it was like
cut that kid's Achilles tendons.
I was mortified, and so I was like, I think I need to like hang up now and like just not be on speakerphone with my family.
Well, you had to hang up because Lucy started like taking a toy from somebody else, and it was like,
oh yeah,
okay, she can't be a little shit,
I had to parent. I hate doing that. No, yeah, I needed to like be an active participant in my child's life, but it was very funny. And I was like, and also I just don't need the peanut gallery like shouting through FaceTime as they're observing like
kid.
This much of the park and like what's going on. I was like, and time to go.
I still contend that kid's an asshole.
Honestly, he was an asshole.
See, I was right.
His only behavior was not stealing the ball from Lucy. He had a lot going on.
Well, he was running around like a madman, kicking the ball around and everything else.
Well, no, he was like throwing things at the birds and like shooting water at like
obviously psychopath.
Yeah, kind of. This was in the city.
Very different. Instead of the burbs.
The wild, wild west of inner city Chicago.
Getting back to the story.
Getting back to the pool scene. I did love that
Heartless.
scene. I loved the pool scene. It was funny that she like hip checked this kid in because it proved her point. But it also, I feel like, then led to a lot of like legitimate conversations about how she was like, when I was little, my brother always defended me. And so she was like, we'd be at a party and somebody would pick on me and my brother would go over and like take care of it. And so she was like, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have a sibling to like,
yet
bully the bully. Yet. There we go. We can talk about the ending.
Yeah.
But so she was like, I felt really protected. So I liked that scene. It did make me laugh because I knew you had mentioned it before I had read the scene, that how funny you thought it was. And it was very funny in the moment. Like and then like listening to this mom get her ass handed to her by Cade. Fantastic. But then the way that it forwarded the story of Willa and Luke becoming closer, and Luke really like loving her because she defended him and really took care of him in that moment. And then for Cade to see both Willa and Luke's relationship, it took, it moved things along quite a bit and also was really funny. So I really liked that scene as well. I thought it was important to like moving along the story. And then now we can talk about the ending.
Well, the dad says breeding kink, which is funny. Cade's dad says, son, do you have a breeding kink? Because she gets pregnant at the end of the book.
So then
we already talked about that.
Yeah. So yada yada. Willa gets pregnant from this, ride me bareback daddy. So she gets pregnant. She tells him the carrot in her bag when she's there's like funny parts to that story. So then he can tell she's 25, he's 38. So he can tell that she's freaking out. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that like Trixie or whatever her name is, outwardly trapped Cade with Luke, and Cade is like, I never felt trapped. I love this kid. He's my purpose, yada, yada. So he never felt trapped by it, but Trixie did. She had nefarious um, motives, and so he's worried that she's freaking out. So Cade is worried that Will is freaking out.
But
Cade sends
she's the instigator of all of their separation.
he sends her. She says,
no,
"I'm going to
he
go
does
sleep."
not.
He says, "I'm going to go." She says, "I'm going to sleep in the main house tonight," and he says, "No." But then she says, he says, "I can tell that you need space." So he
no, absolutely not.
yes. Okay,
No,
how did you read it?
She said she needed space, and he let her go. It was not. He absolutely.
Is that not
did
what I just said?
No, you said he knows she needed space, so he sends her away. That's not the same thing. She instigates all of their separation. She says she's going to the big house to sleep, and she doesn't want him to be near. She goes back to the city because she says he needs to decide whether or not he wants this as a choice, because he never got to make the choice before. So she's giving him the decision, and she makes this entire separation happen. He has really little to no say in it, other than realizing that she gave him being supportive, but also making a decision on what he actually wants, which of course he wants her, and he's known that this entire time.
Yeah.
But the wishing well scene right at the very end, where Luke and Cade are throwing coins into the wishing well in their backyard, and he's like, and Luke's like, "I'm just wishing that Willa comes back," and he's like, "Me too, buddy." I'm like, "Go kittens!" That was very cute, and it was a very fast low point. I mean, it was maybe a chapter or two, and then he goes and wins like the whatever
rodeo thing that we don't understand because we grew up in the city of Pittsburgh,
Alberta, county-wide, or not county, but what I don't even know what they call them up there in Canada.
Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
But he goes. She takes his cowboy hat off and throws it on and goes, "You wear the hat, you ride the cowboy." And she talks about saving a lot of horses in this book, meaning that she's banging him a whole bunch from the song. And then she smells him again in the delivery room. That's my last note.
You're skipping straight to then. So
that's it.
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
They decide to stay together. He loves her. He proposes, I think.
No, I don't even think
there's no proposal.
No.
Well, he tells her he loves her. He wants them to be with them. Yada, yada, cute. And then it jumps straight to like them having the baby. And there's like a group text about, we're at the hospital and the baby's going to be born. And I just don't, the baby thing, like romance novels that end with like the girl getting pregnant and then everything's happily ever after. Like not my jam, not my favorite like way to wrap up a book in general. So that's my only comment on it.
I didn't mind it.
Okay, great. Glad it satisfied your needs. Yeah. And I also don't know if like having two kids with two different moms, does that qualify as a breeding kink? Or isn't a breeding kink like you would have like 15 kids? Is it a kink if you have like two?
I mean, well, from pucking around, what I read breeding kink as is that you just love to smear semen everywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Okay. Did you like the book, Ned?
I did like the book. Did you like the book? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think Elsie Silver has like a huge like a cult following. People love her books, and so I think they're great. And they're like very classic romance novels. Also, it's like of the series, like with all of these series, how all of the like siblings or cousins or friends, everybody conveniently dates each other to keep the series going. And there's like always
doesn't date each other. They keep going on to the next one, and
But all the characters are in all the books. Like there's never, very rarely is there like a super outside character who's not like in some way not related like by blood, but like in some way connected to.
They link them all together.
They're all linked, and so Elsie Silver does that really well. So these are just great great romance books to have. I feel like this is like a pretty easy like beach read, and you take it with you and finish it and then leave it in the hotel room. Like you don't need to like take this one home and like save it on your bookshelf. You can put it in a little library on the corner. But like I would absolutely recommend it. I mean, would you? This
Sure.
is
Absolutely. Recommend this one and her other series that I've read all 4 books of.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed. I would absolutely give it a read. And this one I haven't read the first one in the series, but this one was great. And I think neither of us have read this one before. So
new to me.
I've read Elsie Silver, but this was the first of this series, and I'd read the other ones for sure.
It did ring very similar to some other cowboy daddy nanny novels. Like I think I texted you at one point and I was like, feels like done and dusted. And you were like, this one was written first. And I was like, oh, okay. It did differentiate itself in my brain by the end. There was enough stuff that happened differently.
And they were a little snarkier in this one than they were in Done and Dusted. The characters were different enough where I was like, there's absolutely overlap. There's absolutely things that are very similar. But
in small town romance tropes, like there's only going to be like one main bar where people go, and there's everybody knows each other. There's just, I feel like a lot of stuff that does overlap between these books, but this one was written first before any of the Done and Dusted series. But which I liked Done and Dusted, so I liked this book, and it did by the end differentiate. Like they were different enough that they live in separate lanes in my brain now. But I did find that to be interesting.
Well, Helen, are you ready for the new thing we're going to try out this week, which is smutty Mad Libs that we created?
Ned wrote us a smutty Mad Lib, and we're going to try it out. So I'm excited.
I have. I sent earlier today. We also sent our parents the cues for this, which they have replied with their answers to this. So I'm going to ask Helen.
We gave them
prompts.
no context.
No context
for the record.
I'm gonna ask Helen the prompts, and then I'm gonna read out. I'm going to read out first her responses, and then our parents' responses to these prompts.
So if you want to watch us get canceled, stay tuned.
All right, Helen. Here we go. I need a kitchen appliance.
Okay. Oh, we're jumping right into it.
Into it.
All right. Let's see what I texted you. Okay. Kitchen appliance is an immersion blender.
All right. I need a plural noun.
Kittens.
Adjective.
Glittery.
Article of clothing.
A jizz sock.
Body part.
Skin tag.
I need a verb.
Tap dance.
Animal.
Iguana.
Object.
Lava lamp.
What are you
Is that an animal? Is an iguana an animal, or is it a reptile?
Same concept.
All right.
Food item.
Beans.
The musical fruit.
Magical fruit. Musical fruit.
Adjective.
Blue.
Body part.
Nut.
Plural noun.
Scissors.
Body part.
Toenail.
Another body part.
Fupa.
Inanimate object.
A shillelagh.
Shillelagh. I need 3 verbs.
Run, walk, trot.
And a silly object.
A sheepy female urinal. Yes, I used to own one.
Oh my God. All right. So the title of this Mad Lib is The Forbidden Pantry.
Oh God.
He cornered her between the immersion blender and a suspiciously large sack of kittens, breathing heavily through his glittery nostrils.
Oh God.
You think you can come in here, he growled, with that jizz sock riding up your skin tag? And expect me to tap dance like an iguana in heat? She gasped, dropping her lava lamp in shock. I was just looking for the beans. The only thing you're going to be tasting is my blue nut. He snarled, pulling her onto the counter like she weighed nothing but a bag of scissors.
What the fuck?
His toenail pressed against her fupa Harder than a shillelagh at a strip club.
Honestly, that worked out really well.
Say it, he demanded. Tell me what you want. I want you to run, then walk, and maybe even trot, all while balancing on a sheepy female urinal.
Oh, God.
She moaned. And that's how the fire alarm got pulled at 2:17 p.m. on a Tuesday. The end. Oh, I think
ChatGPT.
I think I'm having a stroke. Oh my God.
Please don't have it on camera.
Oh,
I don't need that on camera.
Oh man.
Ruin the night.
I think that worked out better than I even thought it was going to.
My God. The shillelagh, that was chef's kiss for Mad Lib.
His toenail pressed against her fupa.
That's so gross.
Oh.
So for mom and dad, did you put the same, was with the same prompt? And then
same story, yeah.
All right. Oh,
God. I guess I could have done a different prompt, but no, I did this. I did the exact same one. I sent him the exact same one I sent you.
Okay.
He cornered her between the coffee machine and a suspiciously large sack of cars, breathing heavily through his wonderful nostrils.
Okay.
You think you can just come in here, he growled, with those shorts riding up your finger and not expecting me to row you like an ocelot in heat? She gasped, dropping her tree in shock. I was just looking for the zucchini. The only thing you're going to be tasting is my huge toe. He snarled, pulling her onto the counter like she weighed nothing but a bag of cars. Again, parents, what the fuck?
They don't get Mad Libs.
His nose pressed against her arch harder than a coffee cup at a strip club. That makes no sense. Say it, he demanded. Tell me what you want. I want to run, then throw, and maybe even toss, all while balancing on a fart machine.
Oh.
Well, good job, parents. That one was fun too. But yeah. I think this is a great idea, and we should continue to do these constantly.
We should crowdsource for the answers, though.
Oh yeah,
you and I are gonna.
You should put them on the TikTok.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll finally learn how to use social media. As the social media manager for Sibs and Smut, maybe I'll learn how to use social media.
All right, folks. Well, we recommend Elsie Silver, yes. Heartless, and any of her other books. We've enjoyed a lot of the other ones too. So check that out. Helen, do you know what we have coming up next week?
No. You just texted me about it, and it's on the library.
The Bodyguard by Catherine Center.
I gotta read it. I got it.
The Bodyguard by Catherine Center is coming up next week.
Frank, I think you could have killed him. It's a line from the Bodyguard movie, and those lines are just going to pass you over.
Oh wow!
You were not as obsessed with the Bodyguard as some of us were.
How will go on? That's a different movie. It's a different movie. That's the no. Well, we shouldn't sing that anyway. Any final thoughts, Helen?
No. Brain's empty. I'm done. Mad Lib. Mad Lib cleaned me out. I am.
Next week, Catherine Center, The Bodyguard. If you're liking our bullshit, generally, please read. Fuck you. Read rate, subscribe, read the books, gently shower us with praise. I'll do all that stuff. And thanks for listening. And please tune in next week, smutters.
Yeah, for The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Okay.
Good one, Helen.
Thank you. I know. All right. Stay smutty.
Stay smutty. Tip of the cap to you.
And my shillelagh.